StudyIQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
Hello, namaskar, namaskara, namaskar, and namaskar. My name is Pooja Devedi. Welcome to my class, The Daily Current Affairs. Before I begin with today's class, I would like to inform you about the Raksha Bandhan discount that we are giving on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan. This will be available till 31st of August for P2I batches, Hindi, English and English. Everything is available at a one-stop solution. This is the evening batch that we have launched from 23rd of August. 23rd of August is the date from which we have launched our batches, and whatever classes you have missed, you will get it in recorded version. So if you use the code PDLive, you will get an offer price of 27,999, which is down from 29,999. Make sure that you use this code till 31st of August is the last date. Okay, so now we will start with our class. With respect to this class, I would like to inform you that whatever important news has been there since the past 24 hours, I've collected it and formulated questions on the basis of prelims. The knowledge that you will gather will be important from the perspective of your mains and the interviews as well. So do not just think that it is only beneficial for prelims examination. However, prelims is a major focus. So whatever I teach is also available through my Telegram channel. Whatever I teach, supposedly this is today's class, the PDF of this will be provided the day after. Okay, so whatever I teach here, just go through the PDF after you watch the class. Why do I suggest you to watch the class? Because certain things that I'm going to tell you here will not be in the PDF. Alright, that is just for revision. Now, these are the various events that we have to cover today. First of all, let's talk about the practice question. Consider the following. These are the chairman of ISRO, former, and the, of course, we have to understand it from the perspective of our examination, in so much so that ISRO has been in the news because of the launch of Chandrayaan 3, success of the Chandrayaan 3, and now Aditya L1. Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai, Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan, Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar, Professor M. G.K. Menon. So we have to arrange the tenure of the above mentioned chiefs of ISRO in the correct order. First, we will have Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai, who was the first chairman of ISRO. And after him only, the Vikram lander has been named. So first, of course, this. Then we have Professor M.G.K. Menon. After that, fourth. Then we have Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan. And the latest of them all will be Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar. 1, 4, 2, 3 will be the correct answer. Okay. 1, 4, 2, 3 will be the correct answer. Those of you whoever have given the correct answer, I will take your names in the last. Okay. ISRO will launch the PSLV C-57 for Aditya L1 mission on 2nd of September. Aditya L1 will be launched on 2nd of September. So make sure you do watch that as well. Now this is the entire group of chairman of ISRO. First was Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai. Because UPSC can trick us, it can ask very factual questions as well. Then after that we had Professor M.G.K. Menon, Professor Satish Dhawan, after whom the Satish Dhawan Space Center has been named. Then Professor U.R. Rao, and then Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan. U.R. Rao Satellite Center in Bengaluru has developed Aditya L1. Okay, moving on. And then after that, from here, from my left to my right, Dr. G. Madhavan Nair, Dr. K. Radhakrishnan, Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar, Dr. K. Sivan, and now finally we have Dr. S. Somnath. Now next, consider the following statements with respect to Aditya L1. It is India's first space-based observatory. It will be situated at Lagrange 1, which is approximately 2.5 million kilometers away from the Earth. It will study the Sun for just 2 years. So how many statements given above is or are correct? I hope it was asking that. Yes. Aditya L1 is set to be launched on 2nd of September. And now people are very enthusiastic about it. Why? Because we have successfully soft landed on the south pole of the moon, where no other country has ever gone. That is why it is important to know about it. Aditya L1 as well. Aditya L1 will be situated at Lagrange 1, which is 1.5 million kilometers away from the Earth. So second statement is incorrect because of this. Then, it is India's first space-based observatory. Yes, it's a solar observatory. It will study the Sun for the next 5 years and not 2 years. So, third will be incorrect. Also, it is India's first space-based observatory. It is correct. First is correct, second and third are not correct. One only will be the correct answer. I would also like to add certain things here. In the upcoming slides, I will add them. So, Aditya L1, it has been developed by U.R. Rao Satellite Center, Bengaluru. Now it will be launched on 2nd of September from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. It will take 4 months for Aditya L1 to reach from the Earth to the Lagrange 1. That is, we are going to cover the distance that is 4 times that of the Moon. From Earth to the Moon, 4 times of that. And that is why it is going to take 4 months. Alright, that is why it is much more complex, because it is taking so long, right? And as you can see, there are 7 payloads. 7 payloads will constantly observe the Sun from Lagrange point 1. There are 5 points, Lagrange points between Earth and the Sun, between as in, which has been developed due to the gravity of both the Sun and the Earth. We will talk about them as well. So, objectives are, of course, to understand why corona, the outer layer of the Sun, is so hot all the time. What is causing coronal mass ejections, which can impact the satellites, communication satellites that are different orbits of the Earth, and what is actually happening on the Sun, why there are sunspots, what is the reason of this cycle, everything will be studied. So Lagrange point 1 is here. What are these Lagrange points? These are 5 Lagrange points that have been created by the gravity of both the Sun and the Earth in such a manner that the gravity of the Sun is pulling this object which is situated over here towards itself, and the Earth's gravity is also doing the same. Now, when two bodies gravities are pulling the object towards them, what will happen? This will seem like to hover over there. So this is a region, and this region is going to get unimpeded visibility to the Sun. Whatever spacecraft we are parking over here will get a visibility without any eclipses. So that is why Lagrange point 1 has been selected. Although this is very unstable. Lagrange point 1 and 2. 2 is also unstable. Here only we have the James Webb Space Telescope. So what will happen that every 23 days, because the Aditya L1 may move away from its original point, it has to do course correction. That means it will use a lot amount of fuel. When we talk about Lagrange point 3, it stays behind the Sun, and this is a point of fiction writing, because many scientists do believe that there may be a presence of Earth-like heavenly body over here. That is why Lagrange point 3 has been created. But 4 and 5 are much stabler, but it is having a lot of asteroids. This is known as the Trojan belt as well. So that is why Lagrange point 1 has been selected. First, we will ensure that Aditya L1 moves from orbit to orbit. Then after doing a cruise phase, it will go to the Lagrange point 1. This will take approximately 4 months. Alright. Consider the following statements. India considers the LAC to be 3488 km long, while the Chinese consider it to be only around 2000 kilometers. The alignment of the LAC, line of actual control, in the eastern sector is along the 1914 McMahon line. India formally accepted the concept of the LAC in 1993, and the two sides signed the agreement to maintain peace and tranquility at the LAC. So how many statements given above is or are correct? The LAC, if I talk about it, I will take the help of this particular map. It is just a concept. Why concept? Because there is no delineation or there is no certain proper agreement in which maps are exchanged between both India and China to show that this region belongs to us and that region belongs to you. LOC has a different story, but LAC is just a concept. India says that LAC is 3488 km long, but Chinese say that it is just 2000 kilometers long. And because of these different perceptions, fluctuations and transgressions happen. And it is divided into 3 sectors. We have the western sector, specifically that is Ladakh, the Union Territory of Ladakh. The middle sector, Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. The eastern sector will consist of Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. And the western sector that corresponds to the Union Territory of Ladakh is the most vulnerable. and it has the most number of fluctuations. The most stable one is the middle. And here in Arunachal Pradesh also, the Chinese have a lot of interest. That is why it is also very prone to transgressions. So first is correct. Second, when we talk about LAC, on the McMahon line, if we talk about the eastern sector that corresponds to Arunachal Pradesh, which the Chinese call the part of southern Tibet. It is a southern Tibet region for them, which is not true. McMahon line is corresponding to Arunachal Pradesh, the eastern sector. So that makes the first statement to be correct, second to be correct. Third is also correct. When P.V. Narasimha Rao went to Beijing in the reign of Li Peng, they said that yes, whatever LAC exists as of now, it will be abided by. It was formally accepted. But again, we changed our stance because the Chinese were doing transgressions of the LAC that they considered of the earlier period. That is why. The first is correct, second is also correct, third is also correct. All three will be the correct answer. I would like to apologize for my voice right now because I'm under the weather, and please do take care of yourselves. Maybe I did not. So this is the map that has been recently, yesterday only, it was released as a standard map by China. Not only it consists of our Union Territory Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh, but also the entire South China Sea is claimed by them. Then we also have Taiwan to be claimed by them. So that is why we are seeing that China is trying to unilaterally change the narrative, which is not correct. Why should we accept a unilateral change? Also, Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, whatever parts of India it has shown in its map. It is an integral part of India and will always be. And this is pretty shocking because at the 15th BRICS summit only, there were talks between our Prime Minister and Xi Jinping, in which they talked about that we should intensify the efforts to resolve the border disputes. Now, this is, of course, a stab in the back again. Moving on to the other part. When did India accept the LAC? See, Sham Saran in his book How India Sees the World, he has written that LAC was discussed during Chinese Premier Li Peng's 1991 visit to India. Then P.V. Narasimha Rao, the Prime Minister, and Li, they reached an understanding to maintain peace and tranquility at the LAC. India formally accepted the concept of LAC in 1993. When the two sides agreed to certain things and they signed an agreement to maintain peace and tranquility at the LAC, the reference to the LAC was unqualified to make it clear that it was not referring to the LAC of 1959 and 1962. Remember that. And the LAC at the time when the agreement was signed. So whatever remained in 1993, they agreed to that. But when the Chinese side started doing transgressions again, we said that it is not working for us. Consider the following statements. The last caste census was conducted in 1931. Caste data were collected for the 2011 census, but the data was never published. So, which of the statements given above are not correct? Recently, the government said that caste census, I will just show you the statement. So, as after a section of its affidavit in the Supreme Court said, no other body is entitled to conduct the exercise of either census or any action akin to it. The center has now dropped this paragraph. So, there is a lot of political discourse that is being written on the caste census for many reasons. The last caste census was conducted in 1931. This is definitely correct. Political discourses are saying that in 1931, the caste which have been represented for Mandal Commission, that was also on the basis of population in Bangladesh, now Bangladesh and Pakistan when India was undivided. Now we need to change it. So the caste census on the basis of that should also be conducted now. Caste data were collected in 2011 census. That is correct. But the data were never published. So first is correct, second is also correct. Both are correct. Neither one nor two will be the correct answer because we had to select the not correct one. I've already told you the news that I have read. Caste census actually means the inclusion of caste-wise tabulation of India's population census exercise. From 1951 to 2011, the population of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, comprising of the Dalits and the Adivasis, and the gamut of data that is related to religion, languages, all this has been published. But when we talk about the caste census, the sub-tabulation, That is not there. Okay, the first census in India began in 1972. As a periodic count, it began only in the year 1881, and since then, the data on caste was always included only till 1931. It was excluded, the caste count was excluded, taken away for the first time in the 1941 census, and thus the count of OBC is therefore available for only 1931 because of the engagement of England in the World War II. That is why caste census had to have a lot of financial aid. When Britain couldn't give that to India, to its colony, then caste census was taken away. Their share of the population was found about 52%, which was the basis of the Mandal Commission as well. Which of the following articles were not violated by the now abrogated Article 35A of the Indian Constitution? Article 14, Article 18, Article 19, Article 21. The correct answer will be 14 was of course violated because right to equality under 35 Article 35A was not respected, which is now abrogated. And the thing is that it used to discriminate between the permanent residents and the non-permanent residents of Jammu and Kashmir. So 14 is there, 19 is there, right to move within the territory of India, that was also violated, and right to life and liberty. If I want to have a liberty to go and reside in Jammu and Kashmir, that would also be violated. So all three were violated. Article 18 is related to titles. So B is going to be the correct answer over here. Chief Justice of India has said that Article 35A empowered the Jammu and Kashmir legislature to define permanent residents of the state and provide them special privilege which denied fundamental rights to others. Permanent residents included people who were hereditary state subjects in 1927 when the Jammu and Kashmir was a princely state. After that, when India became a dominion, it got the dominion status in 1947. What is the use of that? Article 35A was introduced through the Constitution Order of 1954, which was given by the President under Article 370. It demarcated permanent residents with the exclusive right to purchase land, seek state government employment, and other benefits in education and healthcare. Non-permanent residents were not privy to these privileges. August 29 is celebrated as the International Day Against Nuclear Tests to commemorate or mark the birthday of Dr. Oppenheimer, adoption of Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the closure of the Semipalatinsk nuclear test site. The correct answer to this question will be option D. UPSC will ask us important topics should be seen in these light only. Whenever you are finding any sort of trouble when it comes to what to study in current affairs, make sure you be updated. And I'm here to help you through that only. Okay? The International Day Against Nuclear Test is observed on August 29. It was decided so on December 2009 at the 64th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The main aim is to increase awareness about the ills of nuclear test and the impact it has on the people. The resolution was initiated by Kazakhstan together with certain sponsors to commemorate the closure of the Semipalatinsk nuclear test site on August 29, 1991. The legend of King Mahabali is associated with the harvest festival of Assam, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Ladakh. The legend of King Mahabali is associated with Onam, and Onam is celebrated as a harvest festival of Kerala. Happy Onam to all. Onam is the biggest and the most important festival of Kerala. It's a harvest festival, and according to a popular legend, the festival is celebrated to welcome King Mahabali, whose spirit is said to visit Kerala during the times of Onam. The most important and significant feature I can definitely say is Vallamkali, which is the snake boat race which is held on the river Pampa. Beautiful snake boat race. Okay. Who among the following is the first woman to be India's head of mission in Pakistan? Geetika Srivastav, Sneha Dubey, Ruchira Kamboj, Sita Nambi. You have to tell me that in the comment segment. Let me also take the names of those students who have answered the last question correctly. 1423, Padmashri, Mandeep, Komal, Riya, Omkar, Mansi, Priyadarshan, Prabhat. No, Prabhat, it's actually D. Om, Anjane, Mukul, Simran, Aman Anand. There is one comment from Jayashri Jagga. I would like to clarify over this. See, I talked about Sikkim, right? That it is a part of Eastern Council. Right now, it is not a part of Northeastern Council. What I meant by that is, you see, on the official website of Ministry of Home Affairs, here is the Eastern Zonal Council in which Sikkim is mentioned. Although it was included in the Northeastern Council, but the action for exclusion of Sikkim as a member of the Eastern Zonal Council, it has been initiated. It is not completed as of yet. That is why it is still reflecting in the Eastern Zonal Council. It is not yet a part of Northeastern Council that was later on set up. So remember that. Once this gets updated, this last update was done on 17th March 2023. So once the website of the government gets updated, then only we can include it in the Northeastern Council. Whenever for UPSC, if you are preparing, make sure you are well aware of it and take the source from the government website. This is the government website. Alright, I hope this is clear to you. Now also answer the next question. I will take your names in the upcoming segment. Thank you so much.
StudyIQ IAS. अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।